Morning everyone, amprepairguy.com, 203-892-4119, also hardbackelectronics.com. So I'm going to do a little bit of work to my own personal amp, and then I have another amp to work on after. So today I'm going to disconnect the blower. This was just temporary, this mounting here, so I could fit everything, make sure there were no clearance issues in the cabinet here. So I need to cut the metal a bit because it overhangs a little bit over the flange on this side and this side, so I went ahead and marked it with a marker, Sharpie, and I'll cut it, and then I have to remove this material. I'll get some new soft neoprene or whatever it's called, like that stuff I used on the 6-meter PA. So I'll have to countersink the holes and use the pan, I think they're called, I don't know if they're pan head, but they're the cone shaped head screw. And the thread will go the opposite way. And I'll put a bead of silicone around, top of the flange. Okay, so that's that. And then I also have to, I'm going to do something a little different on this one. I had the pressure, what do you call it, the barb fitting for the pressure interlock. I had it attached to the cover, so instead of doing that, what I think I'm going to do is drill a hole in this cover, which goes over that bottom half, and then I'll drill another hole in the top cover, and I'll probably have a bracket hold it in place, and it'll stick through both, so I don't have to have a long hose between the two. It'll just be easier. Just figure it's a more slick way. I also need to, I'm going to try to get all this done today. I need to connect the motor one capacitor and solder these leads after, and hook up a connector between the blower motor and the terminal strip here, so I can easily unplug it and take the cover off. So one thing at a time. Have lots of other, well, not lots of other, I have some other things I need to connect in here, and again, there I am getting there. That is like really basically it, and I'm sure I'm gonna have protection circuit issues. I'll have to straighten out. I'm trying to integrate old circuitry instead of just ripping it all out. I want to use the meters. I have 3 sets of them. It's a nice cabinet and everything. If I built this from scratch like the 6-meter PA, it would be done by now. But I'm trying to fit all this stuff in the cabinets I have and reuse all that, like I said, the old circuitry, or a good chunk of it. So I need to put a shelf in the other cabinet so I can mount the 2 transformers, run the wiring to that cabinet for the, that's a plate supply cabinet. Then I'll start, I might alter the chain setup a hair. I got all the chain hardware off the AK Ultra. I made way more money on that. I'll say it again. I made way more parting it out, and helped out a lot of people who had AK Ultras that needed parts to get theirs going. That thing, the inductors were shot. They're shot. You can't just file them or whatever. There was major pitting on the 2 inductors, on the tubing for one, and then for the pi inductor for the L1, and then the L2, the L inductor, that was just totally shot. So anyway, yeah, I retained the cabinet for that. So anyway, I'm going to use it. It's going to look cool. It's a nice heavy duty cabinet. So alright, so I'm going to get to work, and I will see you guys soon. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm back. I'll show you what I did. That's about it for today. Had a customer drop an amp off, so I'm going to bring that in, put that on the bench. I have more on the way. FedEx. So, hey, so I wired the motor on cap. I've been using all Teflon wire because I have a ton of it. That's great stuff. Remember, this is a budget build. This is for myself, so I'm reusing stuff I have here, things I've accumulated over the years. But I'm not skimping on what I'm using. It's all correct for the tube's maximum output rating, continuous output rating. So, motor on cap here, it's all wired nice. I reused the 4 contact connector, zip tied. As I showed before, this is modular that comes out. Low voltage supplies for relays and protection board and all that. So, be negative wire, still isn't connected. That'll be the next thing I do. I run the leads for the transformer secondary, which is external. They'll go out the back, but anyway, I'm not going to go over that right now. So, see all that? Nice. So, you have the EBM PAPS blower. This is rated beyond the tube spec. It'll actually give me more anode dissipation at the maximum intake temp that they list on the IMAX site. See, a lot of people don't understand that you not only have a CFM rating, you have a pressure rating. And there are a lot of factors associated with that, like if you have any back pressure, for the exhaust, whether you're using a chimney or not, type of socket, if you're using a socket, the amount of, the temperature of the intake air being sucked into the amp into the centrifugal blower. So I use stainless hardware, put some silicone between the flange and the aluminum. It was fun getting that stuff off. I used the torch and then I just peeled it off carefully. Countersunk the stainless screws, and it's been cut. I cut it so now there's no restriction to the flange. I also cut the other cover, the one that goes below the RF deck. So I'm not going to do that bracket assembly I was thinking about for the pressure switch, because the RF deck slides out, and I'm just going to do what I made one with a cabinet like this years ago. I'm just going to I'm going to get a barrel fitting and run it through, like a panel mount one, run it through the back, and then I'll have one on the RF deck, and I'll just plug the hoses into each one. I'll connect them. There are other options. I might do it the other way, but again, this is budget build. I don't really care. This is mine. On DigiKey, you can get these cool plastic feed-throughs that basically allow you to slip a tube in like this, and there's like a release thing. So I might do that too. I'll have to look. I have to find them again. I used to sit there and look through the catalog years and years ago, over 15 years ago. That's how I found out about the SuperCon connectors. Then other people started using these. These are awesome. I just love SuperCon connectors. So all sorts of neat stuff. You just have to look around. As far as parts, and give you different ideas, make things unique, just like the twist lock plug for the everything other than the plate supply. So, alright, so that's about it for now. You can see the other one right here. All, soldered and heat shrunk. Same here. Soldered each individual lead, and then put individual pieces of heat shrink over them, and then a larger piece over it. So that is about it. Okay, so I will be back tomorrow with an amp repair. Filled a bunch of hardbuck orders today. I'm trying to take it easy. I don't want to push myself too hard. I just end up getting worn out, and I don't want to start hating what I do. I love what I do, so. But anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm hoping to get this thing done. I want to get this thing done and fired up. I'm working on my whole power situation here. Talked to my electrician. So the plan is to put a transformer closer to the house, and that's not that easy. It's going to take a little bit. I don't know what size service I want yet. He said I can get whatever I want, 1200. And he said even if I really want, I can get 3-phase, but that wouldn't be cheap. They had upgraded the transformer and the pole. Problem is I have 250 plus feet of wire between my meter base and the transformer and the pole. So I can get whatever I want. It just boils down to what I want to spend, and you know, I'll dig the trench with a trench or ditch switch thing, and do, you know, I basically think just have to pay for materials. I don't have to really pay for the help, but you know. So anyway, that's about it. So really appreciate you watching again, and I will be back soon, most likely tomorrow. So here's another good look at the supply. People have made comments about the wood. Whoop-de-doo. This thing will never get wet. And the caps aren't touching the wood, either are the diodes. So these were customers, they'd use something else, but I screwed all the plastic or nylon, whatever. I think it's plastic nylon clamps down, and all the proper spacing, diode across each cap, 1% tolerance, 100K equalization / bleeder resistors. So no guessing here. Everything was carefully, ever so carefully planned out, calculated. No extra holes, no mix-ups, no mess-ups, no nothing. So when I go to fire it up, well, before I fire it up, I'm going to quadruple check everything, because I make mistakes too. No one's perfect, and I do have to change a couple components on the soft start board to alter the delay for the soft start, because I'm using so much capacitance. But yeah, getting there. So almost there. But this thing does not take priority. This is just a fun project. I have a life, I have work, I have, you know, family. I you know, this is just for fun, to show people I can do it, and to show myself I can do it, actually, because this is a first. And when this is done, like I've said before, I will leave open the option of making another. It won't be 160 through 15, it'll be 80 through 10. So the RF deck can be a lot smaller, but it'll have a progressively shorting rotary switch, same tube. Won't be cheap, but I'm allowed to make one a year, so that's what I'm going to do. It'll probably take about a year, because I have the other work to do, and there's really no money in making amplifiers. But I enjoy doing it. It's something different. Okay, so I'm rambling on. It's lunchtime. I get up at 4:15, and I have other stuff to do today. So again, once again, it's probably the third time. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. 73.